going to leave this packet with the teacher, and then you're going to say, if you have time that first day, then you'll go through the stuff in that packet with the teacher. If you don't have time that first day, then you will say, I need to go through these things. Can I come maybe at 5 minutes before your lunch is over or something to go over these things? All right. B is always wear your teacher cadet name tag. When you are out there, you need to have your name tag on. You'll get your name tag in a little bit. Next, if you're sick or have a legitimate reason why you're not there, like there's a field trip you have to go on here, you must call both your supervising teacher and me to let us know. Because that's the only way I can take attendance in a timely fashion.
What if we know ahead of time? Can we just tell you, like, if you didn't?
You can tell me ahead of time. It still could that day not get in attendance correctly, though. So it would help me if you would shoot me an email that day. Because that's, at this point, I won't be taking attendance the way I normally do, which is looking to see who did not sign in. It'll flip and I'll do it the opposite way. I'll take attendance by who tells me they're not there. If I get an email from a teacher saying, well, I was expecting Madeline, but she never showed up today, and I hadn't heard from Madeline, then Madeline's going to get written up for cutting.
Gosh, Madeline.
So,
what if
I call after, like, let's say I'm sick, and I'm sleeping. What? And like I'm sleeping all day, but then I do wake up, and I called you like at 2:05 after she already was like, Madeline didn't show up.
No, you need to let the teacher know before. You get somebody else to call. The teacher should never be waiting for you, planning for you, expecting you, and you not show up. That's just not good. Everybody understand that? That's just not only common courtesy, but that's professional behavior. As a teacher, I would never be allowed to not show up for work and then at 4 o'clock email the school and say, by the way, I was sick.
Oh, I guess that does make sense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. You need to know ahead of time.
Hey.
Because they're probably, if they know you're coming, they're planning for you. You've talked about planning. You've seen how much goes into planning. So much more goes into it when you're with a class a whole day long. And they're planning and counting on you to do something. So if you're not going to be there, they need to know it. Okay, you've got my cell phone number. It should be programmed into your phone. Yours is already programmed into my phone. If you've changed it since I got your number at the beginning of the year, please make sure that I have your new number so that when it pops up on my screen, I can see who's calling me. And that's important because even if you call me, let's say you get sick during 6B and you're going home sick, then it's going to be your responsibility. You'll have your teacher's number in your cell phone too. And you'll call as you're leaving school, call over to your teacher's classroom phone to say I won't be there. But you also need to call me. I'll have my phone on vibrate or low ring, and it may ring during my planning or sometime I need to be able to know, oh, I need to answer that phone or get that message. When you come back to Dutch Fork, when you leave and you come back, the first time on Tuesday, go through attendance. You can almost get to the point where you'll just wave, they'll know you. They'll know you're leaving and coming back. And they know that's fine. But the first time, Tuesday and Thursday, just so that they get to know you, they'll have a list of your names, and they'll probably just ask you to check by your name as you leave. So and maybe that way you come back in. You don't have to do that every time, but until they know who is going and coming back in, at least Tuesday, do that. Now, if they let me know Tuesday afternoon, we got it, that's good, we know who it is, then I'll send you an email. And by the way, I won't just send text anymore. Email is because I can't send, I'll have more to say. So you check your email regularly. Okay? I'll let you know about attendance if it changes. All right, any questions about attendance?
If you have a study hall, do you still have to come back and
if you have a study hall after this, unless you usually leave, then you don't have to come back. Yeah. And you could just stay a little longer at your school if you wanted to. Yeah.
If we're like a little late, like we're doing something or like doing a lesson or an activity or something, how do we do that?
You just come on back late. Those of you who have me 8B, you're lucky because I'll just know what you're doing. If you have somebody else, you need to tell your 8B teacher. There are occasions that I may come in late. This is what I'm doing prior to this. I'm doing my field experience. I'm out of school, and if I come in late, it's because of that. And then your teacher will tell you how they'll deal with that. So if your teacher says, no, I'm not going to allow you to be late, I'll count it tardy, and we'll rack up those tardies, then you need to adhere to that. And if you are tardy, you're just going to have to take the consequences. Okay? All right, number 3, observations. You will be observed several times during your field experience. Some announced and some unannounced. Because I have 48 cadets, there aren't 48 days in those 2 months. So there's no way that I can get to every classroom 2 and 3 times for long observations. It may feel to you like I'm not there observing long enough. I just need for you to understand how many I'm trying to get done. Now, there's only 25 in this one time period, but you're all at different times. So an unannounced visit may just be a pop-in, and I'm just there 5 minutes. But I do need to observe a full-length lesson. And that is, you're going to have to schedule that with me because you're teaching at different times. And I can't just take the chance of coming in one of those days in April and you're not teaching that day. So I'll have a sign-up when you come back for seminar. I need for you to have talked with your teacher, and I'll come out and do those observations. You'll know once you talk with your teacher. If it's impossible for me to get there on the day that your teacher wants you to, then I'll let your teacher be the one to observe. Your teacher will be turning in observations anyway, evaluations on me. But if there's something special that's happening in your class, and you think, oh, I want Ms. Jackson to see this, this is going to be so good, she'll love it, please let me know and I'll make a special effort to get there that day. I want to see that stuff too. And you know I'll be bringing the camera. All right, B. Well, the last part of that one says, give me at least a day's notice for those special things. Because it could be that I've planned to drop in and I've told people, say at River Springs, I'm coming that day. But you've got something at Valentine that's really special, so I may need to switch that around. And I need to let the people at River Springs know that. So give me a day's notice. And B, in observations, follow your supervising teacher's lead. You'll be learning from some of the best teachers out there. So enjoy the experience and remember to record your observations and insights after each visit in a journal. So I would suggest that you just do that on your blog, and then you can go back and clean that up later. But you're going to need to do things like those things that my friend writes. He has to write those down because he won't sit down on Saturday morning and remember all those things that made him laugh this week. So you need to have something that you jot those little stories down to. You need to remember all the confidentiality laws that we've talked about, all the special ed things. You're not allowed to go home and say, so-and-so is in my class, first name, last name, and he got in trouble today. Because you're breaching confidentiality laws by sharing any disciplinary infraction of a named kid. You can call first names and talk about that, but you're not allowed first and last names and talk about any of that information. So now that I've gone through all of this with you, you understand it, go ahead and sign it, date it, tear it off or cut it, and let me, and you just pass those down to the end.
Stop.
You can pause it. How long has that one been going?
9.
Okay.